Good morning. How is everybody? Happy little surprise live. I am streaming live here on Facebook and YouTube. So as you hop on, say hello. I'll be able to see where you're watching from. Y'all won't be able to see each other's comments, so I'll try to keep those kind of straight. Today we are going to be taking this enamel drip pan and turning it into a sign. So a little upcycling project. I have already pre-listed this project if you would like to purchase it, and also all the products I'm using today down in the description box. You can find all of the paint products and my flips on my website, upcyclebybree.com. So as you hop on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from, and we're just going to do a little quick project. Shouldn't be too hard. What is everybody up to today? Okay, so this piece of enamel, can't remember exactly where I got it. I do remember when I got it, I asked, and I've had a few of these, but I asked, what is this? And I heard it was a pan you slide down in the oven to catch your drippings. So I have upcycled several of them into signs in the past. This one has been hanging out in my stash for a little bit. I got it, I think, recently at an estate clean out. So today we're going to turn it into a sign. I have got one of the JRV stencils. This one fits perfectly onto these pans. It does say Pine Tree Farm Seeds, so great for the season. And then I'm going to be using some cottage color paint today. I have vintage mint, so it is that beautiful, very bright minty green. I think it's going to pop beautifully against this black enamel. And then I wanted to embellish it with just a little bit of this glittery greenery. So we're going to get this done. We're going to do it together. Ashley's on and Kim is on. Everybody watching over from Facebook. Thank you guys. Still working hard on getting my watch hours up for my lives. Okay, so I haven't been working that hard. I haven't been going live. But we're going to. We got this. We're doing it. Oh, you know what would be great? Hey, Cynthia's here on YouTube. Let me know what kind of projects would you guys like to see on these Facebook Lives? Because I was standing down in my basement and honestly, just like a little bit of creator's block lately. We all go through it, right? I've just had like Christmas on the brain. And that's it. So tell me, what kind of projects do you guys want to see live on Facebook? Obviously, we're live, so that limits a few things. I don't have my power tools and, some of that stuff. But okay, so I do like to give this paint a really, really good stir. I am lazy with my clay-based DIY paint, but with the cottage colors, it does have a built-in sealer. So it will separate when it sits. You'll see it kind of clear on the top. You need to stir it up really well. I use a handy-dandy butter knife. As a single lady and the only one who uses the kitchen utensils most of the time, I can do what I want. All right, I am going to take just a little bit of painter's tape here and tape this down because with the cottage colors, the coverage is not quite as great or as heavy, I should say, as the clay-based paint. So I might need to do 2 coats. We're going to see what happens here. This is a big stencil too. I usually tape down my big ones. Okay, let me. Vicky, I read that comment. Y'all don't need to see my face anymore. Let's look at the project. Vicky said, she's over on YouTube, that she bought she ended up with 3 brass lamps. She went and bought one at the thrift store or the antique mall. I can't remember exactly where, because I have been turning them into Christmas trees and Christmas tree vases. But then she said the owner was cutting cords off of 2 other brass lamps and was about to trash them. So she ended up with 3. That is not a bad problem. Okay. So I've got this taped down. There is a little bit of rust on this enamel. From my previous experience, if I heat gun my paint and kind of speed up the drying process, that rust might pop through for us. I won't be mad if it does. All right, I've got a JRV stencil brush as well, the most fabulous stencil brushes I've ever used. So beautiful and thick. And I've got my really big 1-inch. I am going to get just a little bit of paint on there and actually offload most of that off onto a paper towel. I want to have a very dry brush here, especially going over this metal. It's better to take your time, do a couple of coats, than to get bleed through, or bleed under, I should say. I'm going in with a little bit of a stippling method here. I'm not a very confident swirler. So if this is loud and it's making animals go crazy, dogs bark or whatever, I'm sorry, but it shouldn't be too bad. I put my drop cloth down today. I remembered it. So I'm not on metal here. You know, we could be really fancy and try to do 2 different colors. Should I do the trees white? I'm such a boring stenciler, you guys. Very basic, 1 color, and I'm not very good at cleaning off my stencils when I'm done. Not a professional crafter, contrary to popular belief. All right, not loud. Okay, good. I'm glad, Kim. Sometimes it can be. Oops, I forgot to go do not to disturb. I love the projects when you use old rusty pieces of hardware and doors on wood pieces. Ooh, hey, I'm so glad you just said that. So I was supposed to have another estate clean out this week, right? I was supposed to go do that. Well, Ashley's estate sales are becoming so popular that there hasn't been a lot of leftovers, which is sad, boo-hoo. I'm very happy for her though. But for tomorrow's live Whatnot auction at noon, I am going to be bringing in, I just put my phone in that paint. I'm going to be bringing in some more upcycled projects. And a couple of those things are going to be decor boards with some faux repairs. So stay tuned. I don't know how many I'll be able to get done before tomorrow, but that's what I'm going to work on this afternoon. And then, of course, I'll have a bunch of other goodies available as well tomorrow. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Whatnot is an app, and it's an online auction. I go live every Thursday at noon, Central Standard Time. And most of my items start at a $1 starting bid. It's a really fun time. You can get some really good deals. Okay. Yes, for the white trees. That's what I was looking for. Okay, girly, I got you. We're going to do some white trees. Kim, have you bought one of these from me before? And you know what? Even, I think at one point I thought I had double sold one of these, and this was the one. I really hope it wasn't you. It was a long time ago, though. This one is newer. The bell video. Woohoo! Vicky's going to make her own rusty bells. I've got a couple of Kim customers that buy from me frequently, so it might have not been you. If it's not, just disregard that statement. All right, so here, Kim says, okay. Okay, cool. Kim says no. It might have been my other Kim Robertson. I should reach out to her. Anyways, and see if she wants this one since that other one wasn't available when she wanted it. Anyways. Kim said yes on the white trees. So I have got, what is it? White linen? Yeah, white linen. Also by the Cottage Colors. This one has gotten a little bit thicker, and you notice a little bit of rust around my lids because I am not a great paint keeper. These containers are from when they very first came out. Has that been a year ago? Maybe so. But if you do a better job at taking care of your cans than me, that shouldn't happen to you. A little Vaseline around the edge, wiping them off really well when you're pouring out of them. I just washed my hair. Let's not do that. All right. And then white trees. So on these trees, notice here how these pieces of stencil kind of wiggle around a lot. You've got to be very careful. I'm going to use a bit of a smaller brush so I don't push them around too much. Grace and Grits here. Hello from Kansas. I'm a Kansas native. Did you know that? Oh, it might get a little louder now. We'll see how much you'll be able to tell the difference between the green and the white. It shouldn't be, it probably won't be super noticeable because that vintage mint is pretty light, but I will end up doing 2 coats of these. I'm going to take my stencil off, use my heat gun to dry it up. This stencil is, what should I say? The letters are chunky enough that you can put it back in the same spot easily. Sometimes with the mini stencils, or if they have really fine print, that's not possible. But see, with the smaller brush, it's louder. And I'm not going to dare try to swirl. Oh, I have another question for you. Hey, good morning, Dee. Hey, this is a surprise live, so no worries. Make sure y'all have those notifications on Facebook and YouTube. That way they will send you a push notification every time I go live. It's going to start being more frequently, I swear. Okay, my other question. I'm in kind of, like I said, a small creative rut. You know, it happens. It happens to everybody. But who are some of your very favorite content creators? I don't care if it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok. If you guys know anybody new or not new, maybe you just discovered them. I might already know them. That's okay. Drop them in the comments. My other friends might not know of them. And I'm talking like vintage resellers, DIYers, crafters, people that love the stuff we love. Ginger Chick. Oh yeah, I love Ginger Chick Rehab. I've been following Yvonne since the beginning of this thing. She is fun, and she's a workhorse. That woman has new content out constantly. But yeah, she's really good. Love her. She's, I think, mostly YouTube. I haven't seen her a lot of other places. So again, you could go in with as many colors as you wanted on this. I'm going to keep it very simple. We're just going to get back in the creative flow. All right, so I'm going to pull this off. The paint is splotchy still, so keep that in mind. We're going to do a second coat. Ha ha ha. But y'all, seriously, have you ever tried to stencil on metal? It is not easy. But if you have the right products, it's totally doable. Our Upcycled Life is amazing as well. Is it Deidre? Yes. Deidre Bargain Bethany. Oh, okay, I've not heard of her. The Elected Cottage, the Provincial Farmhouse. Oh my gosh. These are a ton of new names. I know the Provincial Farmhouse, but I kind of forgot about her. I'm going to take a picture of my comments. Sadie Seasons Goods. Okay, I am so glad I just asked that question. I am seeing so many new names. On a couple spots here, I kind of panicked for a second. I thought that I had a bunch of bleed under, but it's because this is speckled enamel. I'm going to kind of hold it over a couple of those spots where there's the rust, and we're going to see. We'll see if it pops through. No guarantees that it will. I've had it happen when I painted over some vintage saws before. Unicorn Dust Designs, my girl Sammy, yes. Julie, yes, of course. Jamie and Sonnet. I got to meet Sonnet down at Melissa Morrow's convention in Florida a couple of years ago. That was a joy, and that woman has passed me up in subscribers. She is a workhorse as well. The Eclectic Cottage. Okay, I'm going to have to check them out. I've seen that on here a couple times now. All right, let me get this dried up just a bit more, and then we're going to do a quick second coat. And I say second coat, but it's probably more like a half a coat. A little bit of that rust is popping through. Okay. Also, careful when you're heat gunning your metal. It will get hot. Hey, if y'all could do me a quick favor, a little thumbs up, any kind of comment or emoji reaction would be lovely. Kind of help this video get pushed out there to some more viewers, since it's just a random time and day. If you have any groups you could send it to, that would be great as well. Thank you guys. And again, I did list this sign already, all of the products and the brushes and stuff that I'm using down in the description box. But if you need me to link anything or have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, I'm glad I did the white trees, Kim. So I put the stencil back on. We're going to do a quick second coat. And then you know what? I think I'm going to play with a little bit of black wax on the paint. The Cottage Colors have the built-in sealer already, but the wax will still do some fun things to it. So don't think you can't use wax over your Cottage Colors. You just need to use your wax last, like always. I wouldn't want to do wax now and then try to do a second coat of paint. That would be no good. My paint wouldn't want to stick then. Okay, we're gonna do the trees first and get the loud part out of the way here. Y'all take a picture of the comment section, all those creators. Go check everybody out. Make sure we're all supporting each other, helping each other grow, sharing each other. This is how our communities grow, and especially during this holiday season. That way we can all shop small and support each other. Speaking of shopping small for the holidays, my Whatnot auctions are a really great place to come and find some kind of unique ideas and gifts for people at a pretty low cost. Handmade items, vintage items, more unique. I'm not looking for 100% perfect coverage either. Y'all know me. I want a little bit of a vintage feel. And since the Cottage Colors has the built-in sealer, you can't really wet distress it. And I'm not going to want to sand my metal. So if I've got a couple of little points here where it's not 100% perfect coverage, I'm going to be okay with that because I do want it to look just a little distressed. If you are doing this at home, I would highly recommend to let it dry naturally. Stick it in the sun, stick it in front of a fan, but give it some time between coats. I don't have the luxury of time on a live. So you see, these products are so great that you can bend the rules a little bit and still get a great result. But if you have the luxury of time, don't. If I'm painting furniture with this Cottage Colors, I actually let it dry overnight. And, you know, no ifs, ands, or buts before I do a second coat, at least 12 hours, if not 24. That built-in sealer really needs some time to cure up. I wouldn't technically need to do any other top coat on top of this, really, since it's got the sealer, but the wax is going to be fun. Hey, Barbara, what a nice surprise to see you live midweek. We're going to keep doing this more and more. This really ups the game compared to cookie sheets. Love it. Oh, awesome, Grace and Grit. Guys, I am live on Facebook and YouTube. If you are like, what is she talking about? I'm probably talking to somebody that's on the other platform. But it sounds like Grace and Grit has done this with cookie sheets before, maybe Dollar Tree projects or DIYs. Yes, I agree. This is a step up from a cookie sheet, more personalized, more antique. And also, like, let's repurpose and reuse, recycle a product, an item that maybe wouldn't have a chance otherwise. This pan obviously has some rust. It's got a little bit of deterioration with time. People probably wouldn't use this in their oven anymore. It might just end up in the landfill. But it's got a great little lip on the edge of it. So put a little nail on the wall, and this is going to hang beautifully. We now have an upcycled sign. We didn't buy new from the Dollar Tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, this is a step up in so many ways. And, you know, you could mix and match your stencils. You could do something that wasn't seasonal, so you could use it all year round. Possibilities are endless. I am getting some nice texture out of this paint, which is kind of surprising. Usually it's self-leveling, but since I forced it dry like that, I got some like nice little stippling texture out of it, which I love. And then also, of course, there's texture underneath it from the splatter on the enamel. That's kind of poking through. I'm obsessed. I got a little overzealous with my brush just now. I got a lot of paint on it, so hopefully I didn't just cause the bleed under. I am not very patient. Like, I'm ready to see it. I think it's okay. Pretty forgiving. And the rest is coming through, so that's great. That makes me happy. I think as the paint continues to dry more, it'll keep popping through. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Moment of truth. Did I mess it up? Oh, yeah, Angela. If nobody relists them, I can take a screenshot and send it to you when I'm done on my live. Girly, how are you? How are you? How are you? I did not have bleed under, so that's amazing. All right, look how beautiful and crisp. So good, so good. Even with the bumps and texture of the enamel, it laid down beautifully. Okay, before I smudge it, let's dry it. I'm gonna read down through comments again. Angela, do you want to grab a pen and paper, and I can just read them again if you'd like. Hey, Bonnie. Oh man, Bonnie said a while ago that there were some creators on Facebook that were cutting each other's throat, which not like literally, but I know what you mean. And that they were family, and that's really sad. Yeah, people can get greedy. The internet can be a greedy place, but I'm glad you found a nice little community here. Vicky has 2 red enamel pans. What do you mean? Wait, red, like this, but red? Are they splattered? Are they just red? And where? And jealous. Oh yeah, y'all, go follow Vic's Picks and Flips. That's my friend Vicky. She's a DIY paint retailer now. She's a creator. She has booths. Okay, Angela, did you grab a pen and paper? Because it looks like people don't want to retype, and that's fine. I can read them off. Okay, we've got, oh yeah, Rustic Rehabs. That's my friend Jen. She's in Wisconsin. So when you look her up, it's Rustic Rehabs WI. We've got Ginger Chick Rehab, and she's mostly on YouTube. Our Upcycled Life. That's Deidre, my friend Deidre. Bargain Bethany. I've never heard of her. I have a feeling she's probably she does a lot of different content, it sounds like. The Eclectic Cottage. Yes, the Eclectic Cottage. That's one I want to go look up. The Provincial Farmhouse. I always butcher that word. Sadie Season Goods. We got Julie's Designs and Signs. Most of us know her. Jamie Ray Vintage. Most of us know her. Sonnet's Garden Blooms. Sonnet's Garden Blooms. Unicorn Dust Designs. Whoop whoop, my friend Sammy. Crafty Kathy. Haven't heard of her either. I'll have to check her out. Okay. All right. That's the ones I saw. Repurposed My Way. Flea Market Rescue. Oh, yeah. Those girls are good. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for retyping and sharing those people out. Something got hot. I smell plastic. All right, so here's what we're looking like. Just a little variation between the green and the white, nothing too crazy. You can definitely tell more in person. This green is very bright. You can really tell here down at the bottom. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And you can tell it's just not quite perfect coverage. I just left it a little bit. Now, I was thinking, what if I took some black wax? Or let's go dark. Let's go dark wax because I keep forgetting I need to open up a new black wax. It's all right. I don't know. I don't want to mess it up. The wax won't soak into this cottage colors very fast. Oh yeah, we're doing it because it's got that built-in sealer. So with the regular DIY clay-based paint, it is very, very porous. So when you put a wax directly onto it, that clay-based paint goes and it really holds that wax. This paint, not so much. It's shinier, it's slicker, it's got that protective barrier with the sealer in it. So it's not going to hold it as much. All right, so I put some, just a little tiny bit right there. And it makes it just look a little more antique-y. Like I didn't just paint it today. I'm gonna close down these blinds a little bit. It gets so bright in here, which is great. Sometimes it's too bright, especially for these colors. Is there a black I gravitate more to? I like Little Black Dress, Vicki. Just it's more true black. Black Velvet is going to dry more matte, which is great too, but it's almost like a dark gray. I like my black. I like my Little Black Dress. Okay, so I've got my brush here. I'm just using a little tiny artist brush with a touch of the wax on it. I'm just gonna go right kind of along the edges, but not all the way around. Kind of think about like making some shadows and just highlighting a few of those curves. Does that make sense? Don't want to do too much. Okay. I've got a little bit of playtime. So I've just kind of taken it and highlighted a couple of those curves. And I'm going to use my finger. Just buff it down, buff it down, buff it in a little bit. If I get too much on here and I don't like it, I can take a clear wax and it'll act as an eraser. Almost, I think I used like almost too much. It's okay though. Wiping a lot of it off here onto the drop cloth. Offloading. I like that. I like that. I like that. See, it makes it just look like it has been on there a little bit longer than just today. Yoo-hoo! So don't be afraid to play around, try new things. A lot of people won't be using a wax over their cottage colors because you don't have to. It's a luxury. It's kind of nice to not have to seal it. But if you think you need a little something extra. Oh, and I know, haha, we're going to put a little bit of gold on the trees. We'll go dark over the green or the mint, and we'll do a little gold over the trees. I did not put a link to the waxes down in the description box. So if you're having a hard time finding them or you'd like them, I can drop them in the comments. Just let me know. But if you just go to my website, upcycledbybrie.com, type in dark wax in the search bar or golden rule gold wax, that will pop up as well. I like this. I am going to take just a little bit of clear on my finger right here in the middle of this S. Like I just got a little too much right there. And that's actually going to act as an eraser and let me just use my finger and erase some of that dark wax back. Perfect. I love this. So again, like I was saying earlier, I was feeling this creative block, right? Like, I don't know. I've done this project before. They ain't even going to want to see it. Does anybody care? But now I'm so happy. So happy. And here's the other thing. I've got a million other things I need to do today, but now I'm just going to want to go down to my stash and paint a million signs because that's how my brain works. Maybe I'll paint a few signs for tomorrow. Would y'all like some upcycled wood signs on my whatnot auction tomorrow? That would be fun. Okay, these letters are so little. I just put a couple little dots of wax. Just kind of tapping it in there. Yeah, like this. I use my fingers a lot when I'm waxing furniture too. You got to be careful though. If you have too much texture on the thing that you're rubbing your fingers on, it'll like rub your fingers raw. Ask me how I know. Looks good. Thank you guys. What about a gray, Vicki? There is, oh, you're testing me. Gravel Road. It's going to be the lightest gray. It's almost white. There's a letterpress gray. It's going to be your medium gray. And then there's Old School. Old School is so dark, it's almost like a black. It reminds me a lot of Black Velvet, honestly. I would go, honestly, letterpress right in the middle, and then you can add black and white to it to adjust it. I might have some up here. Oh, Cottage Colors also has this gray skies, but it pulls very, very, very cool. Very blue. Okay. Girl, you just need to open up some of your paint. You just need to pull one of each out of your inventory. Okay, so with the golden rule, again, beautiful, soft, buttery, smooth consistency, kind of like a gilding wax, but not so sticky, guys. Like, it's a lot more blendable, in my opinion. And take just a little bit on my finger, and I'm going to trail. I usually use my finger. These trees are pretty small. So actually going to use an artist brush. I'm just going to kind of go right on the kind of tippy toppies on a couple of them here. I don't want to be all the way gold. I'll hold it up for you in just a second. See, I keep gravitating back towards my fingers. And the nice thing also, if you get a little wax on the metal, it's going to rub off really easy. Stick to the paint more. I don't know. I don't think I like that really, honestly. Honestly, it makes them look yellow. Maybe no gold. Maybe a little gold on the stem. No, I don't like it. No gold today. Just dark. All right, y'all. What do we think? Pretty cute, right? The gold just makes the white look yellow. I like the crisp white. It could be a great two-sided sign. You are so correct. You are so correct. Maybe if it doesn't sell by the end of the day, I'll double-side it. Now, if it went this way, it might have to be a shelf sitter just because it would be harder to hang. You could drill a hole in this if you've got the right drill bit. Okay, so with the floral here, I've got this little like flowy, it's kind of like silvery glittery, which is what made me pull in that mint color. Little French country it reminds me of. But I thought having a little bit of sparkle against the metal would be nice. I'm gonna use some of my Starbond super glue, so I'm going to do that outside. I won't do it on the live, but I'm just going to attach it right here so it can hang down the side. And since it says pine trees, a little pine branch hanging down it, but that'll just give it that little extra high-end look, right? I'm wondering, the way it hangs pretty well, I might not even really need to glue it on, and that way y'all could switch it out. Yeah, maybe I should glue it on. All right, y'all, that's my little live for today. I'm going to hop off and go get ready for my Whatnot auction tomorrow. Again, if you are not on Whatnot, it's an online app. Download it on your phone. Before you come onto my auction, make sure you put your payment information in because y'all are going to want to bid. And what happens is new people come over, they see something they love, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't bid. So go download the app today, Whatnot. Put in your card info. Join me tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time. I have all my shows bookmarked out so you can save them. And we'll do a really fun online auction. But I will bring some more signs tomorrow, a couple at least, some repaired decor boards, and some more great salvage, and who knows what else. Also, make sure to follow me on all the social media, TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, Whatnot. Where else am I? I think that's about it if you haven't already. So you don't miss any new content. Thumbs up, follow, all the good things. I'll see y'all soon. Bye, friends.